guys, welcome back to another vlog. Today is going to be a really nice day, I think. It is my renew day for my 13th week, and essentially what that means is that I am taking time to explore some new ideas and things that I think that I might enjoy that I don't necessarily take the time for in my regular day-to-day. I always advocate for taking time to do the things that fill you up, to renew your energy and, make you feel like you are your own person. However, there are a lot of things that I would like to do that I don't necessarily take the time for. Not because I don't find value in it, but just because my plate is pretty full and I haven't found things that I want to just take off of my list in order to replace it with one of these new ideas. So today is kind of a relaxed day. It's going to be beautiful here. It's going to be 85 and I plan to spend the majority of it outside, just hanging out with the kids. I went for a walk this morning. I do need to run out and get a hose because it is going to be hot. We got this giant splash pad for the kids. It's like, I don't know, 9 or 10 feet. And I need to get a hose for that because I didn't realize our hose end is broken, so it won't hook up to like a splash pad or the slip and slide. I'm pretty sure that Lucy is going to be doing that the majority of today and probably tomorrow too, because it's supposed to be 93 tomorrow. And I don't know how that's going to work. When, on Monday it was 60 and I woke up to 42 degrees and had to turn the heat on because it was like 58 in the house, which I probably didn't need to do that. I shouldn't turn the heat on in June. I live in Maine, I should just know, but honestly, I'm at the point in my life where a little bit of warmth in the morning is needed. And so I did turn the heat on, but then tomorrow, Thursday, it's supposed to be 93 and it's a big swing. So today I also have to film my quarterly goals refresh, which typically I will sit down and do that front facing. I don't think I have the bandwidth to set up all of the camera stuff. I think I'm going to have to do my front facing videos next week, but because my summer goals video is supposed to be up on Friday, I'm just going to go through it top down and we will chat and kind of go through my power sheets. I think that's what I'm going to do. Hopefully people don't mind. It's the same information, you just will be looking at my hands and my power sheets instead of my face. So I am looking forward to spending some time with ChatGPT and Grok. I did this in April as well. I get into this algorithm on Instagram where I will see all of these really neat prompts to try out. And so I want to try them, especially for like food prep and easy snack ideas and things that I can do in the summer months to maybe make things a little bit easier so I don't have to think about it as much. And then just some other random things that I want to search. I think it will be fun. And ChatGPT or Grok or any other AI tool, those are so much fun for me. I love technology and newer technology. I've always been an early adopter. However, it is a huge time suck because once you start down the path of having these conversations, you spark, at least for me, I spark new ideas and I have new conversations that I want to try out, and it becomes very time consuming. And so I don't spend a lot of time doing that. I do occasionally if I'm looking for something specific because it's essentially just a really fast search engine. That's how I look at AI. I don't use any of like the things with the pictures or the video or any of that stuff. I'm not that technical. And while I think some of it would be fun, especially with like video editing and stuff, I know that I don't have the time to really deep dive and learn those types of tools at the moment. But just the normal prompts that might actually save me a little bit of time in my weekly rhythm of just things that I normally have to do, I think that would be fun. So I do have my plan all ready for today. I need to get the hose, and I also wanted to get a clothesline because our clothesline snapped and electricity in Maine is ridiculously expensive. I think our electricity cost with the same usage has like almost tripled since we bought this house 5 years ago, which is insane because we have the exact same usage. So anyways, that's just my own little complaint about money. But I want to start line drying our clothes during the summer because that will be one way to reduce electricity usage, especially because we will most likely have the air conditioners. Because we have a Great Pyrenees, we need to have the air conditioner running so she doesn't get too hot. Thankfully, the summers in Maine are not oppressive. Like over 90 degrees does not happen all summer long. It's really only a few really hot days, and most of the time it's like low 80s, so that's manageable. And then at night, it gets down to the 50s, which if you open the windows, everything cools down and you start again the next day. Okay, so Lucy's getting ready to go because she wants to come with me to get the hose, and then I'm probably going to get set up outside and just start doing things. Although I might film my video first and get the splash pad and everything set up and then start my renew day. So that's where we're going to start. If you haven't seen my other vlogs, I've been posting one a week for this entire 13th week. I have reflect and refresh already done, so I will leave those links for you in the description box, but that's where we're starting and I'm excited. It is 11 o'clock right now, and we have spent the last hour trying to do the blob thing. First, I thought it was supposed to be filled up with air, so I did that. No, it's not supposed to be filled up with air. Read the instructions before you start doing things. It's supposed to be filled up with water, but I couldn't figure out how to fill it up with water because there isn't like an easy connector thing for it. Anyways, eventually we emptied the thing out of air and put water in it. So that's what we've been doing. And Lucy is already in her bathing suit. It's like 75 right now. So nice out. I am going to move outside to the deck with Jack. Emma's doing the dishes, and we're just going to get started on some fun ChatGPT stuff, and then probably a little bit more commonplacing. Actually, what I probably should do first before I move outside is set up June in my Common Planner, because I do have a couple of places that I want to, not places, I have a couple of things that I want to track in my Common Planner for the month of June. I have like this 2-page spread, beginning of the month spread that I need to do, and I haven't done it yet. Part of it is my 1 line a day memory keeping, so maybe I will do that first and then move everything outside. Okay guys, this is my general, very easy setup for my Sterling Ink Common Planner for just my June pages. I have a June books read section, movies to watch / movies that we have watched, TV shows, questions to ponder, and then my one positive thought for June. And I just write something each day. And obviously I have not done the first few days. I need to catch up on that. And then in this section, I am going to be writing the index for May. I have to go back through all of my notes and then come up with some index ideas. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to do indexing in this, but I do know that I need to organize it a little bit better so that it is easy to find. I'm just not sure how I want to do that. I did actually buy, I will probably be talking about commonplacing at some point soon. I think I've said that many times. These are just Planner Kate dot stickers. And so what I'm thinking of doing is color coding different types of information, I think, that I'm keeping track of, and we'll see how it goes. It's not traditional commonplacing. It's kind of like commonplacing / bullet journaling collections, not bullet journaling where you have your tasks and everything. So now I'm going to make kids lunch because it's 12 o'clock and then move outside. See, the day is half gone already, and I haven't even really sat down to do too much stuff yet. So I did film my summer goals refresh, so that is at least done. I do need to edit it before Friday. but I do have tomorrow too for editing. Yeah, so that's where we're at. The days go by very fast. I think I said that in the vlog that went up last week, but was yesterday for me. The years are fast and the days are fast. So I need to figure out lunch and then move outside. Okay, I have moved outside now and I am going to work a little bit on my commonplacing. This is something that I hope to share more about, I don't know, in the next couple of months. I've only been just starting this process in the month of May, but one of the pages that I set up in my common planner for like a monthly, I don't know, collection or whatnot, is this bottom section, questions to ponder. Now, if you've seen anything about my master to-do list, I actually did a whole workshop on using a master to-do list over in my membership community if you're interested. But I have a little A5 Lightstream notebook that is just a running to-do list of thoughts that come into my head, and then weekly and monthly I will go through it. And occasionally I will write down things that I want to consider more, but it's almost always task-oriented or action-based, things that need to be done around the house, things that I need to talk with my husband about, ideas about homeschooling, different curriculum ideas, that kind of thing. But it's not necessarily deep philosophical discussions or anything like that. And I mean, I don't have a ton of those questions to ponder really, but once in a while I will have something that I want to think about, but I don't have time in the moment to think about it, but I also don't want to forget that I've had this idea, and so I need to come up with a way to prompt myself at another point to do that. I wrote down, I think, about 6 questions in May that I wanted to consider more, and these are questions that I think that I would also spend time considering on my monthly reset day. I didn't this past monthly reset day because I knew that I had this whole week ahead of me and I wasn't entirely sure what I needed to get done before this week. On my monthly reset, essentially what I did was setting up my calendars for June and just kind of mapping out some time commitments and things that we wanted to do. But this is a perfect time on this renew day to take some time to look at those questions and research them and look for maybe some answers, or if it's things that I would like to explore more. For instance, in May, I did write the question, let me just see, how do I keep track of all of the thoughts throughout all of my different notebooks? Because I do, if you've watched any of my videos, you know that I have a lot of notebooks for different areas of my life, and that has worked really well for me to segment my life, you know, something specifically for homeschooling, something specifically for work tasks, something specifically for home management, and master to-do list items, specifically for my goals, you know, and that's worked well for me. But I have noticed this year, and probably a little bit last year as well, that there has been a lot more crossover with different segments of my life. I am pretty good about this goes in this time block, this goes in this time block, but when things start to bleed a little bit into different areas, then I am not entirely sure where to put it. And for instance, a lot of homeschooling stuff will fall into work as well as personal areas because I am a homeschool mom, and I also write a lot about homeschooling, and my membership community is full of homeschool moms. So, and I run a Facebook group for Maine homeschoolers. So where should that information be? So that's one of the things that I have kind of liked about the Common Planner, just having this section for questions to ponder. And so I'm going to spend some time doing that. I think I already said this, but I'm going to try and organize my May notes into different categories. I have not indexed things as I've been going. A lot of it is book notes, some podcast information, quotes and stuff, and then my own thoughts regarding the information. So I kind of need to organize it and index it. And I think what I'm planning to do is index each individual month and then compile more of a master yearly index later on. We will see if that works. I'm still unsure about that. I did recently read Building a Second Brain by Tiago Forte, which is a really great book on digital project management or digital systems and keeping track of information with digital systems. However, I don't use digital systems, so I may use some time today to kind of explore Notion, which is probably, if I were to use a project management tool, it would be that. It's free and pretty user-friendly, easy to use and such. So that's my plan for right now. I also have some books to read and some magazines to go through, and so that's what we're going to start. It's about 1 o'clock. I've got my iced coffee, I have some water, and I'm looking forward to this time. Okay, so a couple of things. I have been going through trying to color code all of the stuff that I am keeping track of in my Common Planner, and there are a variety of things. I actually did come up with a list, but I've lost it. Hold on, I'll find it again. Kind of different things that I write about at various times, and I think a lot of Commonplace notebooks will be categorized with just a few categories. I think that that's probably the case. Mine is much more in depth. So I have a bunch of different ideas that I've just listed and put stickers on. Personal journal, book quotes, productivity and planning, goals, food recipes, food prep, gardening, self-sufficiency, podcast quotes, books to read, homeschool, thoughts and questions. Those are just my own thoughts and questions. Social media, work ideas, movies, documentaries, TV shows, YouTube videos. So a lot of this stuff could be combined, but honestly, I like to have it be a little bit more detailed. But one thing that I noticed when I was going through, well, I'll show you in just a second. I noticed as I'm trying to put these stickers in that I am putting a bunch of different stickers, but maybe they're the same. Like this up here is quotes from a book, this is from a book, these are my personal thoughts, and if I'm doing that for every single section, it's going to get to be too much. So what I ended up doing is now I'm just putting the color coding up at the top, and then I am going to write in this kind of margin that I've created more detail about the particular things. The color coding is very helpful for me in my planning in day-to-day life. I've been using essentially the same color coding colors since about 2013, 2014 when I started color coding. And so now when I'm planning, all of the things that are blue, I know are Jack's. Anything that is a green color, it's me. If it's turquoise, it's my work stuff. If it's magenta, it's Emma. So it's very easy for me to see what I need to see when I'm looking at particular colors. And my hope is that eventually I will get to a place where this is the same. I don't think I'm going to come up with any more categories here. I mean, never say never, but I think that this kind of encompasses all of the things that I kind of take notes about and that I think I would take notes about. So we'll see. Again, I think I've mentioned this many times now, building a second brain, which is creating a digital system to manage notes and information and projects and tasks and all of that stuff. I'm not at a place where I want to transfer my analog stuff into a digital system, and I don't reliably use notes apps and things like that. I'm not a fan of, I like having my iPhone, but I don't want to take notes on it or spend a lot of time on it. I really only use it for texting and calls and stuff. I could probably get a dumb phone and be fine because I mainly use my computer for everything. But anyways, so I'm feeling good about this with the indexing, and I'm going to sit down and work a little bit on some ChatGPT prompts that I have saved in the Notes app, because that is one place that I do actually digitally catalog things, mainly because they are mostly links to Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts or other video content where they have put the prompts in the caption or the description or whatever, and so I just copy that link and put it into my notes app. So I'm going to work a little bit on that and then check in and let you know how everything is going in a little bit. Okay guys, it is after 3 and I am going to wrap up this vlog here today. I have been having so much fun on ChatGPT and I've been really looking for different meal ideas for the summer with some of our dietary preferences and seasonal vegetables that we like to have in Maine. And easy, that is the key. And it's been a lot of fun. I definitely recommend it if you are looking to manage a particular area of your life and you need somebody else to make some of the decisions. Something like this is really helpful because you can get recipes, you can kind of pick and choose things, and then it will just come up with a whole schedule of, okay, this is what you're going to do this day, and this is what you're going to do this day. It's what I'm looking for is very similar to the cookbook, Cook Once, Eat All Week, I think is what it's called. That is a low carb cookbook. I don't really follow the recipes, but I use the recipes for ideas because I like to change everything. I'm not good at following recipes. I can, but I always like to make adjustments for my own personal preferences. But that is a great cookbook if you don't want to do ChatGPT and stuff. I just wanted some new ideas, and so I'm kind of going through what can I make ahead, what can I make to just have for like salads in the fridge, that kind of stuff. It's been a lot of fun. I've done pretty much all of the things that I had set out to do today. I was looking at my plan that I did yesterday, and there are a couple of things on my actual plan for the day that I did not get to. One was the chore chart, which I think it's kind of funny that I put it on my plan for today because I also put it on my goals for June. And so I think maybe it was in my brain to do that today and to consider the summer rhythm, but those two things are also on my June goals. So I don't know why I put them today. I think that I put them thinking, oh, well, you're doing this renewal day, you'll probably have some extra time to brainstorm, but I haven't been inclined to brainstorm about that kind of stuff today. So I haven't, and I don't think I'm going to this afternoon. The other thing is my budget, which I just keep writing down and then ignoring. I mean, I check in with my bank every day, and I recommend that you do that too. Check in with your bank accounts every day to make sure that there's nothing funny going on. But I haven't done my spend tracking or just checked in on my budget overall for the month. And I'm kind of just like, well, we're just gonna call it a month and we'll try again for next month. That's kind of how I'm feeling, which is fine. I am very in tune with our budget and finances anyways, but just the reporting that I do and some of the spend tracking that I do for categorizing things has not been done for a couple of weeks, and I really should sit down to do it. It's probably something that I will work on this weekend after Emma's graduation party. I think that's kind of been in the back of my mind this whole week, and really last week too. Just what do I need to do for this weekend? I'm so bummed that it's going to be raining because we're gonna have a lot of people here, and to have everybody cooped up in the house is not great, but it is what it is, so we're just going to go with it, trying to adjust some of my plans a little bit. So that's where I'm going to wrap up. I hope that you enjoyed this little peek into my Renew Day. It really is just a day to focus on things that I want to without any guilt or feeling like I should be doing something else. It's kind of giving myself a free day to do the things that I don't normally take time for. And it's been really good. I'm planning on doing a little bit more reading. I'm reading this book called, I think it's called Ordinary Time by Annie B. Jones. And it's like a collection of essays, I kind of feel like, about, I mean, it is a book, but it kind of feels like a collection of essays. Anyways, that's my plan for this afternoon. My dog is barking because I think FedEx showed up. So I'm going to wrap this up here. Thank you guys again for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and I will see you in the next one. Thanks guys. Bye.